Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. I wasn't going to make this video, but I decided after months of avoiding this character, why should I allow YouTube to silence me as a woman and silence my voice as a content creator on my own channel, on my own platform? So a couple of things jumped out at me a few days ago, which I saw and witnessed, but I did not discuss. There were a lot of protests outside of Buckingham Palace. This was 3 days ago regarding the conviction or wanted conviction of Prince Andrew. So an organisation actually organised themselves, and it was done over Facebook, and they took themselves all the way down to Buckingham Palace and out to the front gates and were shouting out the words PEDO, Justice for Children. Not going to get into details because if you Google it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Now, allegedly, the Queen will not be bowing down to public opinion, especially when it comes to her son. And I think that this really is a heartbreaking, tragic situation to have occurred. Now, I know I normally cover Megxie and Harry, but I think Prince Andrew really does make them look like butter wouldn't melt. So I came across this publication today titled "Queen Poised to Ignore Public Opinion and Order Celebration for Prince Andrew's Birthday," which I think is absolutely disgusting, but I can see where she's at with this. I think as she's getting to her latter years, she's trying to keep her family together, and she's walking a very fine line between a mother and also being the Queen of England. So I understand how difficult it is for her to be in this situation. But I think on this occasion, and we all know what has gone down, she has to pull herself out of her motherly role and really look at this situation from a authoritative position. So I am quite disturbed by this, and I'm going to get into exactly what was said. Queen Elizabeth will not bow to public opinion even after the recent protests at Buckingham Palace against Prince Andrew, and is poised to order that Westminster Abbey's bells ring out for her son's birthday next year, an expert told The Express. Andrew has faced overwhelming public fury over the last year after his links to the convicted offender, Mr. EPS, were uncovered. Mr. EPS was arrested for charges relating to the you-know-what of young women and girls last summer, but took his own life in jail before his trial. The disgraced financier's alleged Madame Ghislaine Maxwell was then arrested last month on charges related to EPS's you-know-what of young women and girls. And obviously for YouTube, I can't say fill in the blanks. She pleaded not guilty and was denied bail. She is believed to have been the mutual friend who introduced Andrew to EPS in 1999. So that's quite a while back. Like I said, it's really tragic. We know that Prince Andrew had that train wreck interview that he done with the BBC that was broadcast across the world, making him look even more guilty than what he had previously looked before he even walked into that room. I don't know whose idea it was for him to do that, but sources have said that it was actually all of his idea, and he's allegedly not the brightest tool or sharpest tool in the box. So I'm going to continue. Her arrest has therefore renewed interest in the Duke of York, even though he was effectively forced to back out of his public duties last November after a car crash BBC Newsnight interview where he tried to explain his relationship with Mr. EPS. US authorities have asked Andrew to help with their ongoing investigation into Mr. EPS's alleged international ring as a witness. He and his lawyers say they have offered to help on 3 occasions but claim there have been no response from the US authorities, a statement which has been disputed by the FBI. I think that he is refusing to cooperate with the US private investigators. I think that the whole remark that he made during his BBC interview, claiming that he allegedly doesn't sweat, highlighted that he was withholding information, and it also highlighted that he wasn't forthcoming with the truth and he did not want to help the investigators out. Now, we know that there is a young lady called Virginia Roberts who has really been trying to bring Prince Andrew to justice, who stands by what she has initially said. If you research it a little bit further, she maintains that he committed offences against herself and her person when she was a girl, effectively. The article carries on to say Andrew has consistently denied any knowledge of EPS's ring, and you know what the ring is. And I find that hard to believe. They were very good friends and they were close, to say the least. There were numerous occasions where they were photographed together with women standing around them at private events. He was staying at Mr. EPS's very plush, fancy New York house. So he knew his internal affairs. They wasn't just having private chit chats about absolutely nothing. And then we have this young lady, Virginia Roberts, who maintains that all was not as savoury and as squeaky clean as what Mr. Prince Andrew wants to convey. So I'm going to carry on. Last week, Westminster Abbey released its official schedule of its bell ringing days and confirmed that Andrew's birthday will be marked with the honour in February 2021, which is a traditional honour for senior royals. The public were shocked when this was announced because there was backlash last year when Westminster Abbey's bells rang in celebration of Andrew's 60th. And I certainly think that it is wrong. I don't think there should be any bell ringing for someone who has put himself and his family and the representation of the United Kingdom in such a compromising position. I think that he should be left out of the whole thing altogether, but nothing quite compares to a mother's love, it would seem. And I think that the Queen just wants to, more importantly, go down as an extremely loving mother, if anything else. She's definitely ruling with her heart, and on this occasion, she's ruling with her heart regarding her son. I think it's really tragic and it's really awful, but Prince Andrew was a train wreck for quite some time, and it's all coming out in the wash. I really, really hope that he can be brought to justice and we can actually finally find out what has happened. Now, there have also been reports that have been leaked claiming that allegedly Meghan and Harry's antiques have been exaggerated and really fixated upon as a means to distract from what Prince Andrew has done and the ongoing investigation that is currently pending. Is it true? Is it not? I don't know. There's no smoke without fire. I definitely do stand by what I've said about Meghan and Harry. I think that their behaviour has been appalling, but I have to admit that I personally find everything that's gone on and what is surrounding Prince Andrew quite repulsive, I think, as a woman. And I really do hope, as I said, that the US private investigators and the FBI and everyone else involved in the investigation of this whole awful, tragic debacle can get the answers that they are looking for and hopefully give us the answers that we want, that we are seeking. We deserve to know. Andrew is another person that the British taxpayer is paying for, so we have every right to know. He is public property, he is property of the people, and we want him to answer the questions that they are seeking the answers for. Everybody does. So I think that's where I'm going to leave this video, guys, but there you have it. The lady herself is not backing down and she wants him to be treated like every other member of the royal household, I imagine. But that's just simply out of the question. I think it's gone too far downhill for that. It's pretty much a train wreck. I'll be back with another video, guys. Bye.